Hello ladies and gents, this is Indie Love, I'm the Rev, and today we explore Betrayer, the first release from Blackpowder Games. As the indie title, you're asking yourself, well, who are they? This developer team originally comes from Monolith. These gentlemen all worked on one of Monolith's biggest hits, the original Fear. Now, not any of the spin-offs, but the original core game. So what's Betrayer about? It's a first-person, action, survival, and horror experience. It's set in the year 1604. You are shipwrecked on your way to find out why. All communication has been shut off from the colonies. Waking up on the beach, you begin your adventure with your trusty knife. Without giving away any spoilers, you work your way through each section, slaughtering evil and investigating the deserted colonies, having huge, wide, open environments with plot points pulling you back and forth between levels until you reach the final stage. The graphics are used specifically to enhance the gameplay by having each zone playable in color and the black and white washed out graphics. Players are constantly put off balance, and this only adds to the suspense and horror. Betrayer has designed the audio to be used as a direct game mechanic. Pressing the X key in-game gives you a direction in general to search and find all that has been hidden. Audio is also used to give warning of enemies approaching and major plot points. There isn't a lot of music. It is all focused on creating a dark, ominous environment, pushing at your senses. I found myself sitting in a dark room, enveloped by the wind, really succeeded in pulling me into Betrayer's world. Having a constant feeling of being watched follows you throughout the game. You must rely on instinct and quick reflexes to survive. Up next, we'll discuss the arsenal that aids you and hones your survival instincts so that you may survive in Betrayer. Weapons and trinkets are found in chests and secret shops throughout all of the various levels. We have our shop here, and here's an example of a chest that's already been found. They glow red before you find them. So let's come over here, let's take a look in the shop and see what it has to offer versus what I've been able to find. As you can see, there are 4 levels. We have everything from common to crude. Then as we start to step it up, it goes to quality and then exceptional. So as you can see here, we have some nice stock. Exceptional crossbow, longbow, short bow. But if you look at the damage, that's 90. And let's see, the longbow is only 50. Now let's take a look at what I've found via secrets. We've got 100 damage. Ooh. Looking at the flintlocks, you can see 140 for the rifle, and then the crossbow is at 150 versus the topped out end in the shop, which is only 100. Same thing goes for our charms. They start at crude and work their way up to exceptional. You have ferocity, which is one that you're going to be very careful with because you really don't want to close with any of the enemies. You're going to take damage and you may or may not survive. This one is a solid must. Remember, everything is one shot and then must be reloaded. So having a 15% faster makes a big difference. And then the other thing you're going to want is swiftness. The first one is only 4%. This one is 8. I haven't found the last one, but I would assume it's probably 12 since it looks like it's going in fours. So there you go. There's a simple breakdown of the weapons that you'll get. Now the only other thing I didn't talk about was a single throw tomahawk. And let's see if we can find that in here. Ah, the tomahawks. Now these are simple one-shot. Doesn't say the damage, but they're pretty good. You know, when something's really closing on you fast and you've got no other options, you're stuck in between loading and a guy's about to hit you, boom, hit the G button and you can take him out. So those are your weapons, and you're asking yourself, well, what are we going to be killing with that? Well, enemies is next. There are 5 basic enemy types within the game. You have these guys, the Spaniards / conquistadors, because again this is in 1604 and everything is done and made appropriately weapons wise and trinkets for this time period. So we have the conquistadors, we have skeletons, which I will show you in the other area, the other half of the game, the other reality, and wraiths. Those both are on the other side. So the majority of what you'll be fighting in the daylight is this. There are also burning men are the other thing that you will be fighting. They are little guys, and you can always hear them coming because you'll hear a wolf howl. And that happens when you take and basically try and sprint through the area. So this guy, now the skeletons, the wraiths, and the conquistadors all have stronger versions as you go through the game. This is the stronger version, is basically the mini boss that you will fight of the conquistadors in the daylight. So, and these guys are not difficult to take down, you just have to hit them in the head. If you don't, they take a couple additional shots, but that's usually all it takes. And of course, you want to make sure that you're being careful, because if this guy saw him go down, he's going to come charging straight at you. So this game is a mixture also of stealth, but you're going to have to weigh that with sprinting, for the simple fact that the areas are so large that you can't always just do that. So luckily, did I make it? Okay, he didn't see me. You can use the wind. You'll see here as we're going, you see the wind here, that will cover your tracks so they don't hear you. You can get somewhat close, but out in the open like this, anybody can see me. So it's usually a good idea, if you're gonna be sniping, to do it from the tree lines, if you can, because sometimes they'll just be out in the middle of a field and you've got to take your chances. So you've got to be good at running and gunning. I don't think this game will work real well with a controller because you've got to be precise. See, I missed. Got him again. So, I still haven't shut those two guys off. But that is the conquistadors that you'll be fighting. Now, 1 second and we'll move on over to the dark side and see if we can find us some wraiths and skeletons. There we go. Whoa, there we go. You can see they teleport around. Woohoo! Yeah. This is the easiest way usually to take them out. Just back pace, draw down, and fire. The thief escaped. Now in each one of these I've seen that there is one of those skulls, and it is stealing something. I don't know. I've caught it, but obviously I haven't caught it in all areas yet. But there you go. A brief look at the enemy types. I don't want to show too much more for the simple fact that I want you to pick this game up and buy these guys and support them. So let's move on to the next section. In closing, I would recommend Betrayer if you're into stealth games. It doesn't have the intense action of Call of Duty, nor the budget, but it shares a very twisted and well-written story. As you dig deeper and deeper, it's not just about the unknown evil, but shares that evil with depravity, and ego of man. Betrayer shines best when after a twisted plot point you stumble into the dark once more and feel the atmosphere close about you and strangle your senses, emotions, and hope. Is it all stealth? No. Is it all action? No. It's a combination of both, pulling your senses one way and your mood the other. After playing a few hours, I found that my mind started playing tricks. I was seeing things on the edge of my vision that weren't there, chasing them hour after hour, until figuring out that it was just my imagination. Blackpowder Games has delivered a satisfying horror gaming experience. And while the game isn't perfect, it's more than delivers on their promise of a horror action title. Now, Betrayer is anywhere from 15 or so to 20, 30, 35 hours long, depending on how much of a completionist you are. You do not have to find every single thing on a level to make it through to the next area. To beat the game, I think, though, you're going to have to find it all. So, Betrayer sells for $19.99 USD or your regional equivalent wherever you are in the world. You can get it on Steam or on their website. Thank you for watching. I'm the Rev, and I'll see you next time if the gods don't take me first, or the wife. Thanks for watching.